Shane Arden, and I'm calling Colin King.
A pleasure to take a call during the Appropriations 2014-2015 Estimates Bill debate, and I just want to focus on the fine job that is being done by this government around the education and skills training. It is not an easy part to get right. When you look at the transitions between our compulsory education and our tertiary education, it has always been a challenge. However, it would have to be said that the national government is a far better steward, a far more trustworthy steward of the nation's economy in managing this very, very challenging situation and location within the education system. Our Youth Guarantee Scheme has proved to be very successful. It has been a difficult area because some people learn far better in the workplace or in the tertiary education sector than they do in the compulsory sector, and that is what this government has done. So any individual who wishes to avail themselves of the opportunity, whether they're between the age of 16 and 19, can get tertiary education to level 3 free. That is a great step forward. The vocational pathways have been structured with the input
I'm sorry
of
to
industry.
interrupt the honourable member. We have a vote specifically on skills and employment, which comes under vote tertiary education, and the member is actually moving into that area now, when this vote that we are discussing is economic development and employment. So I don't know whether the member was intending to focus on the whole area of skills and employment, which will come up shortly, or whether you have something else to say on economic development. I'm just inviting the member to come back to the substantive matter of vote, economic development and employment.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Colin King.
When we look at the development of 84,000 jobs, Mr. Chair, in 2013, one does certainly see how the government's agenda around training for skills and employment is very appropriate. When you think about what contributes the most to the economy of a country, it is very important that those people who come through our education system present themselves to our employers ready and fit for employment. And when you think of a country that is 4.5 million in size, with a workforce to support a first world economy, it is very important that those who are going through our education system are fit for purpose. And we've got to look not just at those people who are fit for employment, where we've got to also look and find out ways to improve the outcomes for all of our young ones as they leave school, whether they are European, Asian, Pacifica or Maori. And it's a piece of work that has been done very successfully by this government, and the budget of 2014-2015 keeps building on the progressions that have been made, and it is with great pride and confidence that we see that the trades and skills are being promoted in such a way now that they are truly recognised as contributing to economic development by the way that it's so very, very important. Because when you look at the way what the government has done, it has incentivised training in 5 specific areas, and those specific areas are to do with economic development, especially in construction, infrastructure, manufacturing, technology and primary industries. And it's also very interesting to see that the government is going one step further with a 6th pathway, vocational pathway, into employment that is going to further contribute to the nation's economy, and that is the creative industry. So effectively we can see that the government is very focused on ensuring that everybody lives up to their potential, that economic development encompasses not just building bridges, building the primary industry or increasing technology, but it also is directly linked back to our education system, whether it be from early childhood education, the compulsory sector, or into our tertiary education, to ensure that we do have the right number of engineers coming forward, that we do have those skills appropriately anchored back into our education system so that we can build an economy that will not only take us forward in economic development terms into the future, but well beyond that. And I mean, when we stop and really analyse the whole question of economic development, it is tied back into the nation. At a very fundamental and basic principle is that you've got to have the qualifications and the skills to be able to carry that on with a passion, that those people that you put up for employment have the various opportunities that should be available to them.
The question is that vote economic development and employment stand part of the schedules. Those of that opinion will say aye. To the contrary, no. The ayes have it. The question is that vote science and innovation stand part of the schedules. I call David Clendon.
Thank you, Mr Chair, and I'm pleased to take time to make a few comments about science and innovation.